All right. Without further ado, here we go. Starting the north side of Twin Beaches is Reakly as the Wehrmacht. Over here on the south side, we've got Tonimontana. Now, this is an interesting map. This map is always either you're too far apart from your opponent or you're too close. But, we're going to see who fights for the top hill here, who wins on these beaches. It's going to be a really dynamic match, folks, and we're going to be lucky to see who wins this. Right off the gate, because the map is so large and so wide, both players are starting with their. I was going to say both players are starting with a double engineer for extra capping, but it looks like Tony changed his mind, and instead he's gone for his first infantry section. So usually when a British player does this, they're either going to follow that up with a dingo, or they're going to follow up with like probably two more infantry sections. Yeah, there we go. So this is you can already tell here what Tony's strategy is going to be. He's probably going to go 3 to 4 infantry sections, get the infantry section training, maybe get a Stewart with the commander on top, and he's going to go heavy on his infantry sections. This is a strategy we've seen from Tony before. He always likes to, build up his British forces and make sure they have the strongest firepower. You listen, people have been saying that the infantry sections are not as strong this patch, but once you get all the upgrades stacked with the weapons, the training center, and some of the other buffs from vehicles like the Stewart, they are some of the strongest infantry in the game. And here we go. First shots of the game are fired. Grenadiers catching the infantry sections on approach. Reakly being really aggressive here in the center area. Both players neglected the fuel, but it looks like Tony's caught on to that, and he's rushing towards the 8 now. There we go. Now, we've talked a lot about Tony, but it looks like Reakly's strategy here was the double Pioneer, which is great because it's a little bit less risky than having a Kettenkrad. Ketten's fast, right? But it dies quick if you're not paying attention. So the Pios will be laying a mine. Very nice. Here we go. Both players fighting for the hill. These Grens are fighting an uphill battle, literally and figuratively. I don't know. Maybe with these two Grens, he might be able to do it if he sits in green cover long enough. But here we go. We got another infantry section coming in from Tony to support. Can he hold this hill? I think right now, for Reakly, it's only a matter of staying in green cover, and maybe he can win this fight. There we go. Pioneers doing a very diligent job of capping on the side of the map. Here we go. We have a third Grenadier coming out from Reakly, so he's going to go heavy into his Grenadiers, and maybe, if we're lucky, we'll see transfer orders. Oh, looks like there's a little issue with the game sound. Give me one moment. This is why we do a couple games to warm up. All right, can you guys hear it now? All right, here we go. Grenadiers are pushing up on the front. Thank you. Shout out to Armin for pointing out that the audio wasn't working. I always have audio issues in Streamlabs. I always mess that up. So apologies, folks, for that minor confusion. But here we're back again. These brave Pioneers are trying to outwit the Royal Engineers. Wow, they won that engagement, but they back off anyway. So great play from... Wow, okay, so we're seeing an early officer's quarters from Reakly. Really bold pushes here. He's won the battle, but he still hasn't taken the fuel, so I'm not 100% sure that this was a winning engagement for him. So, yeah, here we go. He backs off. There's going to be plenty of time for him to go strong into Tier 1. He's going to build his machine gun. Machine Gewehr 42 will hopefully be able to help him push up and hold off against Tony's quadruple infantry sections. Pioneers being real sneaky over here on the side. Capping on the beach. These fuels are really important, so hopefully Tony can get back there and... oh wow, he's desperate to get it back. He's forgotten to reinforce his Royal Engineer, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully he can realize his mistake soon. Maybe he'll use it for capping. It's all about tempo in this game. Sometimes you can't afford to stay in your base and heal. I've seen a lot of early Company of Heroes players stay in their base until the HP of their units is to 100. Like, yes, you can do that, but you lose so much tempo and timing That's really what this game is all about. Being at the right place, in the right time, in the right position. Here we go. Big skirmish here in the center. Is Reakly going to get flamethrowers? There we go. Flammenwerfer 35 coming in soon. He's predicted this. And here we go. Tony's infantry section runs away. Will he lose a model on retreat? Well, someone lost a model on. Yeah, look at that. Cheeky little mine. So he manages not to lose any models on retreat, but Reakly is relentless in his mines. Very aggressive. These pioneers are going to try to get aggressive, but here we go. Fast Humber coming out from Tony. This is going to be a real issue for Reakly, because Reakly's only just now building his Panzer Grenadier headquarters. He's going to be able to get the AT guns out or rush a Stummel, but right now, the only thing he can do right now is bleed. So I'd like to see this Humber get a little bit more aggressive now that the Grenadiers retreated. He's got to be careful, though, because I don't think he realized how aggressive Reakly's been with the mines. Oh, wow! Oh! Okay, wow. All right. That was a close one. Tony could have maybe dodged that, but, you know, he would not have predicted that Reakly would have put a mine so aggressively and so close to the front line. This is okay because Reakly doesn't have anything to follow up on this, right? So now he's gonna. Oh, looks like he's not built a Panzer Grenadier. He's built the Luftwaffe headquarters over here. So this means he's gonna get the 221 upgraded with the big AT gun. I call it the Humber Deleter gun, and he'll delete this thing in no time at all. So we'll see if Tony can keep it alive. Hopefully Hopefully he knows that obviously Reakly's going to try to come over the counter. I think he's maybe counting on the fact that Reakly may build an AT gun. But at this point, Tony's got to build some AT to cover his ass, because once that 221 comes rolling in, the Humber Deleter gun can't be stopped.
Grab this weapon! Keep fighting! Enemy lower! Men down! Take cover, Kinder!
Alright, here we go. Grenadiers pushing in. These Grens, they trade really favorably for their cost. The best part about going heavy in officers' quarters is it sort of trickles down to the rest of his tech too. So if Reakly wants to, he can do a little transfer orders action and get some Jaegers on the field. There we go. 221 rolling on the field. Now let's talk battle groups, right? Reakly's gone breakthrough battle group, so he's got his fast deploy. He got that 221 out in no time at all. And now it looks like he's going to try to go support elements, get his Werbulls smarter. Oh, nice Faust. Oh, here we go. Humber Deleter coming in hot. He smells blood. That wacky thing. Oh, look at that. Tony doing a really good tech with the grenade there. I don't think Reakly was expecting that. Usually, players like to delay their grenade tech. And that was perfect because he lost the Humber, right? But it was a decent trade. He got the 221 to die, and Reakly lost that 50 munitions cost that was associated with it. So here we go. Players fighting again over here. This is going to be a green cover war. Tony's not going to win this, but right now, if anything, he's stalling for time. He's lost the fuel on the beach again. He's got to be really careful with this area because the Pioneers, they're sort of like a risk-free unit for Reakly to constantly be aggressive on this fuel. And Tony's got to put more of his high-value units to sort of take it back. And every time he does, it brings these guys away from the actual battle where they'd actually be useful, like right here. Yeah, stalling with 37 fuel income is a dangerous game. I don't know. Reakly's got a lot of fuel income right now. 37 fuel is no joke. That's pretty much like almost all the fuel in the game. On every map in a 1v1 or any other map in Co. Oh, here we go. Tony has realized how far back he was, and Reakly takes the game. Well played by Reakly. That's something interesting. You can win this game just by stalling in tier 1 if you play well enough. But honestly, Reakly held his own. You know, just with Grenadiers, Pioneers, and an MG42, he was able to hold back Tony. Yeah, Tony built the first light vehicle, right? But he wasn't able to capitalize it fast enough. You know, he was probably zoned out by all the Fausts. You know, it was really unfortunate, but you know, Reakly outplayed him. All right, let me set up for the next game. Bear with me, folks. Almost done. Almost done. All right, folks. Game number 2 of Reakly versus Tonimontana. Starting right now. Here we are back on Twin Beaches. This time, Reakly in the south as U.S. forces, and Tony in the north as the Wehrmacht. Good luck, have fun, and chat. Now, people have been talking about how U.S. Spec Ops is sort of the de facto meta battle group for USF right now, and right now we're going to start to see why, right? Weasel coming in fast with the early game capping power. Going to provide fire support later on if Reakly upgrades the MG, which of course he will. Right now we're in the north. We see Tonimontana adopt the Wehrmacht strategy of double Pioneer at the start, right? Like this is lower risk than the Kettenkrad, and his units can keep on capping on the sides, so this is good. He's going to start with the Grenadier. This is all expected. This is all in the Wehrmacht playbook. You really, it's a really common recipe. It's like trying to change the recipe for cooking an egg, right? So this is all very expected. See a USF rifleman start. And what are we going to see after that? Maybe 2 more riflemen? Very bold. So we'll see. We'll see who wins this match. Could be anyone's game. Here we go. First shots are fired. Riflemen meet the Grenadiers out in open cover. Riflemen take a huge beating on approach. Look at that. They already lost 1 model. There we go. Weasel coming in to disrupt their cover. Try to disrupt the Grenadier models. Here we go. People sort of underestimate how annoying that can be. As soon as you disrupt someone else's units while they're in cover, they lose all their firepower. And this is a high, what would you call it? High micro move? Big brain? Whatever you call it, it worked. And here we go. We got the 50 cal upgrade for the Weasel. So this is going to start coming in here now. A lot less of that shenanigans now. Oh, yeah. As soon as Tony gets Faust, this is not going to happen anymore. But look at that. He just rides right up to him, fires right in their face. What are these grins going to do? They're going to run home. Exactly. We got a vet 1 on the Weasel. Reakly's probably going to go the healing or the capping on it. Go scouts. See, this is another reason why the Pioneers over here in the south are so good. No matter what, they're going to win a lot of these fights if they're lucky. And you have to devote a lot of time to trying to get rid of these guys. Here we go, Weasel coming in. This is another reason why Spec Ops is so good. This Weasel can come in real quick. And any normal day of the week, USF would have to send a rifleman here to deal with these guys. So luckily, Reakly is set. Here we go, Tony coming in. He's got his machine gewehr coming in. Wow, he gets the suppression even though these guys are in green cover. The 1 or 2 rifleman models outside of cover here got suppressed. That's sort of the thing. Sometimes you can't trust your eyes with the UI indicators. You have to look at where your units are. If they're sticking out of cover like this, they're going to get suppressed. This is a tricky little bit of cover here on Twin Beaches. Careful of that, folks.
Artillery batteries have smoke shells, ready to provide cover.
Tony's Wehrmacht pushing straight into Reakly's base. Reakly teching up Infantry Support Center and Grenade Package, while Tony's going Panzer Grenadier Company.
Put the sweepers away.
It's a little aggressive for my liking.
Enemy fire!
If he wants to go for the cutoff, he should go for the cutoff. But right now, he's sort of like set himself up for a little bit of an aggressive push from these engineers. Let's talk battle groups. Reakly's gone Spec Ops. We've talked about this already. He got the free smoke barrage instead of the flare, which is great for him. Are we going to see a satchel? No, he's just going to be aggressive. Satchel's too aggressive. There you go. Engineers being very aggressive. Engineers can win. Oh, there we go. You see the disrespect Satchel? Boom! Tony's MG42 annihilated, turned to paste. Well played by Reakly. He recognized that the MG setup time would take way too long. He had the double setup time. He set up while he was retreating, so he had to do the teardown too. And that gave him just enough time to get that satchel off. Ooh, first Faust goes on the Weasel, but it barely survives thanks to the Pioneers repairing it in combat. Will Tony lose the engineer? No, he won't. Alright, Tony's built the half track. Now it's not looking too great for Tony. He's lost his machine gun very, so he's a little bit behind right now. And not only that, but if you look at our fancy little UI indicator here in the north, you're going to see Tony's taking a lot of beating. He's lost a lot of good men in his army. Double sticky grenade goes off on his half track. He's going to be able to pull it back in time, hopefully, but this is unfortunate right now. Tony's pinned back in base. Taking a real beating from Reakly. Reakly knows how to play his units. Look at this positioning. None of these units are more than tier 1 or tier 2, right? And he's holding his ground. It's all about the positioning and the engagements you take, rather. Go, Rifleman. Gotta be a little careful here. Oh, his Pioneers are repairing in combat, so they're going to take a little bit of a beating from the Weasel. Engine crit is still not repaired.
We've lost the territory sector.
What's Reakly up to now? Reakly's gotten the medical tent, which is good. Good for his rifleman strat. I'm surprised he hasn't built a third one by now. Looks like he's going to try to rush out the Greyhound. He has the 50 fuel in the bank. Now, those Greyhounds being 50 fuel now, that's pretty expensive. Those Greyhounds, if you've seen them, they do pack a punch. So once that Greyhound runs onto the field, it's going to be... It might be lights out for Tony. I don't know. Right now, it's not looking too good. You know, right now, this half-track doesn't trade too well with the Weasel. The Weasel has enough armor to sort of hold its ground and scoot out of there. Are we seeing any tech from Tony? No AT gun. No Panzergrens. I don't know. And Tony's gone Luftwaffe battle group, so what is he getting? Oh, instead of Panzergrens, he's gone for the Jaegers. Bolshevik Jaegers coming in from the skies. The pride of Hemgering. Alright, here they come. Coming in for a tactical strike here on the hill. Reakly being aggressive with the cutoffs again. This is sort of deja vu. Like, Tony's getting completely cut off and losing his fuel on this map. He's not being careful. Captain Barrage comes in. I would like to see a merge with these Grenadiers and the Bolshevik Jaegers in a bit. Oh. Ooh. Oh, shit. He... Really well-timed Chappie push. Chappie's going to rush in. There's no way this half-track gets out alive, mark my words. There's no way unless the Bolshevik Jaegers can pull off a Faust. But even then, it's not likely to crit the engine. Reakly's not worried. He's got full eyes on where this half-track is thanks to the engineers nearby.
Krauts are making their move.
He knows as soon as these Bolshevikers retreat, he can push his Chappie in. Here we go. He goes in. He's rushing in for the kill. He's going Chappie speed. Tony's desperate. He's trying to get this thing far away, but he runs right into the USF Tier 1. And he gets annihilated. That is disheartening for Tony. Here we go. Weasel being aggressive on the beach again. These Grenadiers can barely handle the Vet 2 Weasel. The armor, the open ground. Luckily, he was able to catch it before he got the decap, right? But now the Chappie's rolling around. The Chappie's more of an anti-tank or an anti-light vehicle critter, right? So it's not going to do that much damage against the Grens, but it does a respectable amount with his Pintle, so Tony's got to get out of there. Now, if I were Tony right about now, I'd feel really discouraged. Look at the sheer amount of losses he's taken. It's an incredible amount of losses coming from one of our darling tournament players, and this is rough. He's stuck here. He's stuck in his Tier 1's getting harassed by his own machine gun. Chaffee's closing in. Tony's completely off the map. Bolsheviker's coming in for a sneaky flank. Throws a grenade. Damage reduction sort of saves that MG right there. Can these Bolshevikers win against the Riflemen? Evidently not. And Tony throws in the towel. Well played by both players, but again, Reakly showed us why he's one of the top players too. So Reakly won that 2-0 against Tonimontana. Tony is out for the count.